was Swayed by Emily Henry. Immediately. Second chance romances. Win, win, win. We will see. Hello, my name is Emmy. As you can see, I'm in my car because we are going somewhere together. Given the title, I want to take you book shopping with me. I haven't done a book shopping with me video because I personally don't buy a lot of physical books. As you may or may not know, I read mostly on my Kindle. But now that I have a bookshelf, I feel like it's only right for me to buy more books. I posted about having a new bookshelf in my previous video and my new office setup. This is just the natural next step. So today we are going to be visiting local used bookstores around my town. I may or may not come back empty-handed. Honestly, you just never know with thrift stores or used bookstores on what you're gonna get, just because you don't really have any expectations. You get what you're gonna get. So we're gonna go to two. It would have been 3 bookstores, but one of them is closed on Sundays. We'll see what I come back with.
Deep breath. How can I tell her what's
Back from going book shopping, and I have to be honest with you, I know I told you earlier that I was gonna go to 2 different used bookstores, but I only went to one. Let me explain. The first bookstore, I feel like it was just such a success that I'm like, I don't need to go to another bookstore. Secondly, this is my second time visiting this particular bookstore. The books that I got from that previous shopping trip, I still haven't even read it yet. I don't want to just buy books just to buy them, even though quite literally that's just what I did, but want to make sure I don't overwhelm myself too much. I know that in book hauls and stuff, people typically buy like 10 books at a time or just a lot of books at a time, and I love watching when people do that, but for me personally, I just didn't have the need for it. I wanted to make sure I'm not just spending my money to just spend it. I could take you on more book shopping trips next time. We'll visit that other store that I was meant to visit today. Also, like, this is another big reason for me. It's already getting dark out. I don't want to be out too late. That's just my own personal preference. I don't like being alone in the dark outside doing my errands. That I want to be home with Eddie, safe and sound. That's just the reality of things. But let's get on to the haul. Going into this, I told you that I did not have any expectations whatsoever at all, but I had such a good shopping day. And when I got there, there was a book club. They were discussing Song of Achilles, which I haven't read yet. It was a cute third space to be in. What a nice little community that they had, because an in-present book club, that's so cute. I've never been a part of that. Maybe I should join. I don't know, I'm too shy. We'll see. Anyways, the first book that I came across that I gravitated towards was this book. I saw a pink cover and I was like, okay, I'm reading it. Secondly, on the cover, Emily Henry reviewed it, and I love Emily Henry, so if she likes this, I must like it too, right? This book is called The Sweetest Revenge by Lizzie Dent. It is about, I don't really remember what this is about. Honestly, I was swayed by Emily Henry immediately. I knew I was gonna buy it. We are following Amy, who is apparently a rising TV producer. She's starting her career. In her past, she had one disastrous night with her boss slash ex-boyfriend. 2 years later, she sparks up a relationship with her downstairs neighbor. She starts this new job, and her ex-boyfriend becomes her new boss. It feels like it's a love triangle situation where she is kind of also working on herself and working on her career, so we'll see. Emily Henry likes it. That's all I need to know. The next thing that caught my eye was Elin Hilderbrand's The Hotel Nantucket. I've heard a lot about this author, a lot of mixed reviews. What's interesting is in this book, someone actually wrote their own review. I thought that's great. I'm like, hey, who needs Goodreads when you have Sherry who read this book already? But from what I'm gathering in this book, she recently just had a bad breakup from her longtime boyfriend. She goes to Hotel Nantucket. All you need to know is someone is looking for a second act after a bad breakup. She goes to Hotel Nantucket. She becomes the GM there, the general manager. She meets a lot of people, a lot of high-profile celebrities apparently come here, but as she continues to work here, there's a lot of drama with the other guests, other staff. We'll see. We'll see. Apparently there's a slow start, so at least I know that I'm already expecting that there's gonna be a slow start. And then after that, I went to the classics section. This year, I really do want to read more classics, so I knew I wanted to pick up a Jane Austen book, but instead I got Jane Austen in Searsdale. Is this by Jane Austen or is this by Paula Morantz Cohen? I feel mistaken. I feel like this is by Jane Austen, but I also feel like this is by Paula Morantz Cohen. So in this book, we're following Anne Ehrlich. In the past, her family played a huge role in not allowing her to continue to love the love of her life, Ben. Years ago, her wealthy family disapproved of her loving this man because he's penniless and they're wealthy. She finds out that Ben is actually a successful writer and he is about to get married. So she's wondering if their old love could be rekindled. I love second chance romances, and that's why I picked up this book. And then lastly, for this particular book trip, I got The Great Gatsby. I want to read more classics, like I said, and I want to reread this from my new perspective as an adult, because the last time that I read this, I was in high school, and I do remember really enjoying this book, and I'm curious when I reread this book how I would experience it now, so that's why I got this. Now, I told you before that I visited this used bookstore previously, but I haven't read those books that I bought. I only bought 2 books from that previous trip, and I might as well share it with you here while we're doing book hauls. This book I got, After You by Jojo Moyes. I think I may have mispronounced this person's name, but I have a feeling that this is the sequel to a book called Me Before You. But I haven't read the first book. Hopefully this is a standalone because... So in this book, we're following Louisa Clark. After a transformative 6 months spent with Will Traynor, she is struggling without him. For Louisa Clark, life after Will Traynor means learning how to fall in love again. Is this a second chance romance? How do you move on after losing the person that you love? How do you build a life worth living? That's why I picked up this book, because that sounded really intriguing to me. So we will see. It's more fun at a used bookstore. It's more affordable, it's been pre-loved, and you're supporting a local bookstore. Win-win-win. Lastly, this is a book that I've heard about. This is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. This has magical realism tied into it. So The Midnight Library enables you to go back into the past and make different choices with the ones that you've initially made. How will that change the trajectory of your life now? That sounds very interesting. With the help of an old friend, she can now undo every decision that she regrets as she tries to work out her perfect life. Is that possible? We will see. We will see. I hope that I did this book haul properly. This is, again, kind of my first official book haul video. Of course, I'm excited to read all of these books, but the ones that I'm really looking forward to reading is The Midnight Library, the one that I just mentioned, and The Sweetest Revenge, just because I'm biased, yes, and Emily Henry said that she really enjoyed the book, so we will see. And I'm curious to see what my experience would be when I reread The Great Gatsby. Alright, I think I've talked enough for this video, but thank you so much for spending time with me today. Again, if you haven't already, please make sure that you like and subscribe to this video, and make sure that you hit the notification bell so you don't miss another one. See you next time.
Beep beep. It feels so weird to be filming in my car as my neighbors are like walking their dogs around with their kids. They are so cute. I feel like I'm getting so distracted filming in the car.